Welcome back, everyone. Um, any of you who are following us, or following any news organization locally for that matter, realize that the leaders in our community, there's no grass growing under their feet. I've talked to so many presidents and CEOs of the organizations that are responsible for economic development in our region, the chambers and the EDCs and whatever. And my guest today is a shining example of that. This is Dennis Brobston, who is the president of the SEDC, which is the Saratoga Economic Development Corporation. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Jess. Good to
Good,
see you.
right?
Good
You
to
know
see
what I
you.
love about this, Dennis? I get to see everybody's houses. I get to see everybody's living rooms.
Well, it's a lot better than where I was in the basement. I figured I'd come up to where the light is, so
That's great.
it's a lot easier this way.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. I've got quite an agenda to get through here.
Sure.
You really are a shining example. I'm following all of the developments at SEDC and the way you're reaching out to the community, the way you're reaching out to your members, the alliances and the coalitions that you're forming with other major organizations involved with businesses in our county. Let's get started with this. There are projects in the pipeline that
Yeah.
before this crisis hit. What's going on there with you in making certain that these projects keep going?
Well, our focus is always to get to completion, right? So working with the different agencies that we are involved in, especially the county IDAs, the Clifton Park IDAs, we've got a few projects that had to go through those meetings. And it's definitely a different world doing it on Zoom or whatever conference call that you're on. But we have been able to work with the IDAs. The county IDA just last week approved a project that we had started back in January for Cortec in Ballston, town of Ballston. In addition, 14,000 square foot addition, a couple $1 million project. And then we brought two new projects in. Quad Graphics is going to be adding some equipment, and they have to do some construction at their facility. $45 million project that is really about retention for them, because when you have a plant that's not investing in themselves, you finally look over and you go, oh, we're out of date, and then you got to put too much money into it. So we're real excited about that project. The IDA set a public hearing for May for that, where that hopefully will be approved. And we also have a little company, Automated Control Systems, ACA, Automatic Control in Half Moon, that's adding 7,200 square feet to their facility, and they're going to add, they're going to double their employment from 3 to 6, and that's a $500,000 project. And those are the kind of things, up, down, big, small, that we try to do, and just trying to get through the process. We've been very pleased that the communities that have had their planning boards and their zoning boards meeting online have been approving projects as well. We're working right now for a new project in the Synergy Park in Clifton Park as well, where a brand new park's being built, and he finally got approvals for 3 buildings, spec buildings, that normally we thought would take until the middle of summer. And because their agenda is what it is, they've had time to get it done quicker. So we're excited about that. There are companies still looking for space, and they have work to do. And it's going to get busier once this all breaks.
Right, but you know what's nice to know about that, Den, is that it didn't come to a screeching halt. That the projects that were in the
Yeah.
pipeline that you're looking to develop, that you're maintaining some pace, whatever pace you can, to try to
Yes.
make certain when we come out of this that you can pick up where you left off. Hey,
That's right.
the members always come to the forefront here. You're in a lot of contact with businesses. We're all so uncertain about what the heck is going on. What are you hearing? What kind of needs are there out there, and what are you doing to help the members?
Well, we've got a little over 300 members, and we have a staff of 4. We're still all working. We're working from home, going to the office when we need the bigger copier to do certain things. But we are making phone calls. 2 of us are dedicated strictly to calling our members, communicating with them. We've talked to everybody. Their concerns are, uh, everybody asks you, did you hear anything from the state? Is something going to change, or are they going to lift the ban? And we don't have any connection to that at all. But they want to talk it through. They want to tell us what's going on. They're telling us about their if they have a shortfall in supply chain. We've been very, very lucky, and a lot of our members have been doing very well. They are concerned about social distancing. Wondering what the new rules will mean to them. Construction has been a big issue, and getting some of them back to essential businesses has been important. We've had people that needed hand sanitizer, and we've had Agrochem in the Grand Industrial Park. They were making some, and Yankee Distillery is making some down in Clifton Park, and other people are making it. So knowing that they had it and telling them where to get it, making sure they connected. Polyset was going to make some out of Stillwater, Raj Ghoshal and his group. So just connecting people that way. We still are a networking organization. We really are about information, and our members are so busy taking care of what they're doing that if we can connect with them, we will be able to assist them so they can take a little bit of time to do what they really need to do, instead of worrying about the finances or some of these things that maybe we can get them answers for. And that's really what's happened through the Paycheck Protection Program process. We've had a lot of calls about that.
Oh, I bet you have. I've been involved in that myself with my own business. You just said something about just people need someone to talk to. Honestly, Dan, you would not have wanted to be my accountant yesterday. I called him and just started in. That's the way the community kind of pulls together, if you know what I mean.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Hey,
And the interesting thing about that too is that when you look at it from the perspective of your business, and you're inside and out, right? I've got a board meeting this afternoon, and I spent the last 2 days looking at what my second quarter is going to look like, revenue wise. And I'm a membership organization. We're probably not the first people they're going to write a check to, because they've got issues they've got to deal with, paying their people and all the things that go with that. But we do have a strong group, and just trying to figure out where do we look. We're going to be at the end of June, and then you start going a little further. Every business we talk to is having that same issue, and they're trying to understand what the next month looks like. They're trying to understand how their business will continue. Can they still ship? Can they do all those things? And they're struggling, just being nervous and anxious. I've seen a lot of people drink way too much coffee as they're sitting at their desk, and talking to them, they're a little anxious, and but it's a difficult time, and we have to figure out how to help.
boy, I know. Well, you really are doing a good job. Boy, it leads me into the thing that I really wanted to talk about. In Saratoga, a task force has been formed. It's you and the Chamber, Prosperity. I think the Convention Center's involved. Actually, we should list the organizations that are involved. And look, let's face it, the Saratoga economy in many ways relies on a lot of non-essential businesses also. Think about our economy, our tourism economy. You think about the restaurants, and you think about the bars, and you think about just the way retail stores on Broadway and all this. This was a terrific idea to form this task force. Let's talk about it. Who's involved and what's going on with it?
Oh, sure. Todd Shimkus at the Chamber had been meeting with the Convention Tourism Bureau, the City Center, the Downtown Business Association, and they'd been meeting every other Friday for a while, talking about things that were going on in their business life, anyways. And they're more the Main Street, the hospitality tourism piece, where Prosperity Partnership and SEDC are more working towards the goals with manufacturers and those type of businesses, working on grants and things of that nature. So, but they called and said, "Hey, let's get together." We got together on Friday the 13th at Wheatfields before they closed everything down, and we got together and talked about it, and thought that this would be a good thing to do. That together, what we all know, we can share, and what one doesn't know, somebody else will. The old networking scenario. So it was at that time that we just decided to do that and started communicating back and forth. Todd has led that because he had the most staff at the time. That made it a little bit easier, and it started to coalesce into what can we do to help the immediately affected, so the restaurants and the hotels and things of that nature. what was an essential business. People were calling. We were all working on those types of things, and so that really helped. Some people feel that they had a place to go to make a call, that they didn't get a runaround, and a lot of people couldn't even get through to certain areas. Look at Department of Labor, look at Empire State Development when they were doing the essential business thing. Very difficult to get somebody on the phone. So we were trying to make our contacts work, and it worked out very well.
Boy, good. I'm going to be checking in with you and the Chamber and Downtown Association just for updates on that. A lot of people have been asking me about it,
Yes.
and it's really key to, we don't know what the new normal is going to be like here, Dan, but
Right.
these businesses have to survive, and we have to come out of this and then be able to adapt kind of quickly to the new normal.
Yeah, I'm really watching what other people are doing throughout the country. I read something just yesterday about the Waffle Houses in Georgia and how they're handling it and what they're doing. And just to say, we've got places that need to be back up and running. And I spent a lot of time at restaurants on Broadway and off Broadway. And, I can't imagine what it's going to, if they have to go to 25% capacity and all the things that you need to know to do. But I can see us having to do that for a while. And they're going to need help with materials and other products and just systems. And there are people out there in the world that do this for a living. So, we need to make sure we get it connected.
Well, then again, that's why the task force is so important. Hey, we're out of time, Dennis. A personal message. You've been the head of SEDC for about 13 years, I think, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
you've seen a lot. And judging from the color of your beard and mine, we've seen a lot in our lifetime. So,
Yeah.
just a personal message out there. For the people, based on the people you've talked to, the businesses you've talked to, and maybe the ones you haven't talked to yet.
Sure. No, thank you. It's a good chance to do that. Look, I've had to lay off people in my business from time to time, and I actually gone bankrupt from a business back years ago in Ohio when I worked. These are things that really take a toll on you. But what I always got out of it was that I met a lot of good people along the way that were able to be supportive and just to listen, and that's important to do. And the difference between me and this situation, or it was before for me, was that I could talk to somebody across the table. Today, we're not able to do that. So it's this kind of connection by phone on a video. If that makes it if it makes it that more important to be able to share with people, to be able to be a part of their life. And SEDC, that's what we do anyways, and all the other groups that we're working with. But it's all about that personal connection. And if somebody's having a lot of trouble thinking about things and just need to have somebody to talk to that's been through it, and if we haven't been, we know somebody who has, we'd be glad to share that. Stand tall, keep working at it. I am tired of hearing we're all in this together. I know we are, but it's like that slogan you hear 35 million times a day. But it is true, and but you need to reach out if you're having an issue, and we're here to help. And just do that. I'm reaching out to people when we need it, so please do the same thing.
Yeah, Dan, that really well said. Great to talk to you. Hey, the other side of that we're in this together is that we're not alone. And
That's right.
and that I think is another key point. So look, you take care, stay safe.
All
We'll
right,
be
Jess.
checking in. Anytime you want to check in with us, please give me a call, okay?
Thanks, Jess. Take care.
Good to talk to you. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.